Hi, we are in Stockholm with Fujifilm for their X-Summit 2023, where they've unveiled a load of new medium format kit in the GFX system, and particularly starring the new GFX100 II and the 55mm f1.7 lens. Like the GFX100 and the GFX100S before it, the new GFX100 II has got a 102 megapixel medium format sensor. But where it differs is in terms of speed. So this new sensor has been completely rebuilt from the ground up. Every single component has been optimized, so you're supposed to get better autofocus and better image quality at the edges of the frame. You also get 8 frames per second continuous shooting in RAW with a huge RAW buffer, a couple of hundred frames, and you can shoot 8K video at 30 frames a second. You can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second, 10-bit 422 color. You can even shoot full HD video at 120 frames per second. There's really not much this camera can't do. So one really striking feature of this camera is the new viewfinder. So this is removable, as you used to have on the GFX100 and the GFX50S before it. And it is an absolutely amazing viewfinder. It's 9.44 million dot resolution. It's 1x magnification. That is the largest and most detailed viewfinder we've ever seen on a camera, and you really can see it. So the whole design language of this camera has also been just tweaked and updated, and it just feels more purposeful and more professional. You've got this angled top plate, which allows you to see the controls and the top plate status display just that little bit more clearly. And you've also got this new textured grip on the camera. This is a Japanese-inspired Bishamon Tex pattern, which is just supposed to improve your grip, and it really does feel very nice on your hand. So one thing we have got on this camera is a new film simulation option, and you can access these from the Q menu. So your screen pulls out like this, and one of the nice things on this camera is actually it pulls out that little bit further than it did on the GFX100. And this means you can see past the viewfinder, which used to block it. We have screw holes here, which are used for attaching Fujifilm's optional fan unit, and that will go on the back. There's a little connector there. I'm not going to pull the cover off because I'll just lose it. And you can screw that onto the back to get extended video recording times. And because this screen pulls out further than it used to, there's now space to put it in there. So like all of Fujifilm's other GF lenses, this is designated RWR. That means it has an aperture ring on the lens for changing the aperture setting, and this has got an A position, which allows you to pass control to the camera body, and a C position also means you can override the aperture ring completely while still shooting in aperture priority mode. WR means that it's weather resistant, so the entire system will stand up to heavy rain and bad weather. One feature of this lens is a new aperture mechanism. So this is an 11 blade diaphragm with curved blades, and it's designed to give the most attractive background blur. This lens has been designed to deliver both resolution and attractive bokeh, and that's quite a difficult thing to get from a very high resolution lens. Superb fine detail on those boats. And we're just going to zoom out in steps to get an idea of the context of this within the overall image. And it is pretty amazing when you think about it, just how much detail that is. Now I'm going to punch in again, and I'm going to scroll across, and you see that level of detail is maintained phenomenally well all the way to the edge of the frame. 2 card slots, and we have at the top CF Express Type B, so this allows you to fit very fast cards for recording 8K movies and shooting bursts, because 8 frames a second in RAW at 102 megapixels is a lot of data. And then under here we've got a standard SD card slot, and that's nice if you just want to separate off your JPEGs and be able to put them onto another card and then just look at them quickly, check them on your computer and see if everything's okay. So here we have Fujifilm standard NPW235 battery. It's been used on all of its other recent cameras, wasn't used on the GFX100 but is in the GFX100S. It's also on the X-T5, cameras like that. And it does about 540 shots per charge. Underneath here we now have 3 more ports. We've got the standard microphone connector, full-size HDMI, which is always nice to see, and USB-C, which you can use to charge the battery and also to power the camera with a USB-C PD compatible supply. You can also use the USB-C port to connect an SSD, and then you can record directly to it, and you can record both video and stills. So that's the end of our time here in Stockholm. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know what you think of the camera in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check our website at amateurphotographer.com where you'll find our full review.